Let's unbox the Funko Pop vinyl figure of Maarva from Andor Season 1. Varykino. If it's Star Wars, we collect it. Hello there, thanks for visiting Varykino. This past week we finally got a trailer for Season 2 of Andor, and of course I'm counting down the weeks until it finally drops on Disney+, but in the meantime I'm always for celebrating my favorite Star Wars movies and series with Star Wars collectibles. Now, as luck would have it, or perhaps the Force, I recently picked up a few of the brand new Funko Pop vinyl figures from Andor Season 1. I've already opened up Cassian Andor himself, this time in the Narkina 5 prison outfit, but of course when I saw that Maarva herself was featured in this lineup, I had to get her. She is a fantastic character from Season 1. I won't go into spoilers, but I'm pretty sure we won't really be seeing her in Season 2, so I'm very excited to finally have her in collectible format to add to my Star Wars collection. I can't wait to open her up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Coming up really soon, I'll get Maarva out of the collectible packaging and we'll take a closer look, but first let's take a quick look at the Funko packaging. This Funko figure of Maarva from Andor, of course, comes packaged in the iconic Funko Pop vinyl single figure packaging style. For the Andor series, we have the accent colors of black and dark red. The black is used for the top panel and down that side stripe there. We can see the Star Wars logo there in white against the black, and we've got that dark red accent color used for the number 762 and also as the accent stripe underneath the nameplate. The character name for this figure is simply Maarva, no mention of B2 Emo, who of course we can see here as well. The image used for the preview here is of course the projection of Maarva seen towards the end of Season 1, and that is also as the preview there on the top of the box. Moving round to the side, we can see that front window wrapping round. We can see the plastic packaging style. This is not a clamshell, it's more of the C shape, so we get a good look through that front window. Again, another preview of Maarva as a projection. We've got her name and the figure number there on the side. Moving round to the back, you can see we've got that black accent color. We've got the Star Wars logo in white. We've got the number 762 up here in the top right. We've got the Andor series logo. I love that weathered, battle-worn look. And of course, we've got a little sneaky rebellion symbol for the letter O here in the Andor title. And we have a larger version here printed on the back, where we can see the other figures in this particular Season 1 assortment. We have Cassian Andor and Keno Loy, both in the Narkina 5 prison outfit, Luthen Rael and Maarva as a projection with B2 Emo. And we can see a slightly bigger preview there of the figure there on the left hand side. Now, of course, my favorite panel, we finally see a full view of the figure. We can see the full projection. We have Maarva in her Daughters of Ferrix outfit there with her sash, and B2 Emo projecting that image above him. We've got the name and the number there again. Overall, I think this is really fun. I think it's a really nice homage to the character of Maarva from the series. I won't go into the spoilers, but this is a pretty pivotal moment in the series, so I think that this is really fun. Kind of a style that I don't think we're really going to see perhaps in other collectible formats like Hasbro action figures, so I think this is really neat. I like the way that it's projecting out from B2 Emo, so I'm really keen to get this one out of the box. Let's open it up. As always, I'm going to open up my box from the underside because it does tend to wrinkle that cardboard flap a little bit. Let's pull out the plastic tray and let's just take a quick little look at the cardboard insert and behind the figure. It is red with that dark red Rebellion Starbird symbol there on that. That's a really nice background. Okay, let's get Maarva out of the plastic tray. This is always the noisy part. There we go. Okay, now that she's out of that dark box, you really get a sense of this fantastic sort of semi-translucent plastic that they have used for her projection form. That looks absolutely really cool, and it feels a little bit taller than a standard figure. This is absolutely fantastic. She looks great. I'm going to quickly clear away the packaging so we can take a closer look. Wow, she looks neat. Maarva is such an important character in Season 1 of Andor. I'm just so excited to finally have a collectible version of her for my Andor collectible display. So I'll talk about the projection of Maarva here and then B2 Emo. So of course, I think this is really fun. It kind of makes me think back to the projection of Princess Leia in A New Hope. She gives a really impressive sort of monologue speech in this sort of a video holo projection format. And the sculpting on this is always really good. I love the way that Funko turns their very stylized faces and somehow they still seem very recognizable as the particular character. So it is rendered here in a semi-translucent light blue plastic. I can't quite see through, but there are sections where you kind of get a bit of a sense of some of the internal structure, like you can kind of see the darker blue because there is sort of the attachment point on the underside there. But I just like it kind of has a little bit of a glow, especially when the light hits it. And for the details, they are printed with a dark blue over the top, keeping with the colors. I think that's fun. We've got Maarva here with sort of her eyelids closed just a little bit. We've got a few sort of lines and her eyebrows printed on the face. A little sculpted nose. It's a little bit more subtle because it's not accented there with any paint. And of course, we don't have a mouth. And then we've got her in robes with a sash worn across in her Daughters of Ferrix outfit here. There is a tiny little scratch on mine just here because it looks like the base of it has been painted sort of with a bit of a white airbrush kind of fading out towards the top, and there's just a tiny little scratch against that sort of a very light white paint there. It's very minimal. I'm probably not really going to notice that once on display, but I like the way it all kind of fades out towards the bottom as holograms in Star Wars tend to do. So we don't really have hands as sculpted here. It just kind of the robe kind of fades out there to the bottom of the projection, which I think is a really nice way to do it because the hands would be very tiny. It would start to look like a figure. This kind of gives a good holo projection sort of feel to it. In the back, that printing for the sash continues on. We can see some detail around the shoulders there, all the way up underneath. Again, we've got that white painting sort of at the base, fading up towards the top. And I love the sculpting of her hair. She's got quite a unique hairstyle, but this looks really recognizable. And I like the fact that it's still fully sculpted here, even though she is a projection. They haven't sort of ignored the back of this figure. I love the way that Funko always gives a lot of attention to not just the front of their figures, but the back as well. There is so much detail here. It's really nice. I like the way it's sort of lifting up here in the front. And of course, we don't really have to worry about the face printing sort of matching up with the hairline because we don't have any paint around the hair. It's all just that same plastic, which of course works really well. Overall, I think they did a fantastic job of giving us a collectible version of Maarva. And of course, she is being projected by her loyal droid, B2EMO. Now, interestingly, we already have a Funko Pop vinyl of B2EMO, and I'll just quickly grab it because I think it's really interesting to see them side by side. So, of course, this version of B2EMO was released a little while ago. He was the 2022 Fall Convention exclusive figure. We only had 3 Andor Funko figures for quite some time until just recently, and he was one of the 3. He was a standout character from the series. I thought he was really cute. I love Star Wars droids as Funko figures. He even has a little bobblehead at the top, so it's kind of fun to see this, even a smaller version. You can see he is much more of a smaller scale there, but they have the same details. He can kind of expand and contract a little bit with these panels through the center. This version, he is standing more upright where we can see more of those middle sections. When he is projecting Maarva here, he's a little bit more compact down, as well as being an overall smaller scale. But I was really delighted to see the color is a pretty good match because this one feels like it is made out of this color plastic with a bit of a wash over the top, whereas this one actually looks like it's more of a sort of colored paint rather than being made out of this plastic. But you can see we still have a lot of detail, even though he's really tiny. We've got all of those little silver painted middle sections there. We've got the black eyes. We've got the little green stripes and detail paintwork here. And of course, we've got his little odd one out yellow foot here in the back. And this one even has a wash over it as well to just kind of tie in. He's not a clean, shiny droid. He has lots of dings dings, scratches, and sort of an overall wash of grime, which we can see here. You can just sort of see it catching in some of those deeper sort of dings and nicks here on the surface. That painting goes all the way around. We've got little exposed panels, little detail spots. While he isn't even mentioned on the packaging, I love to see the attention to detail here. Goes all the way around, and you can even see the little black feet underneath his little wheels there. I think that that's really nice. He isn't just glued completely straight down. They've still given him his little wheels there. Just fantastic. And I love the gloss black for his eyes. So it really catches the light, gives him a lot of personality, which I think is really cute. I honestly want so many versions of B2 Emo, and I'm crossing my fingers we'll see him in season 2 as well, because I just love the Star Wars droids. They're always so cute and full of personality. So of course he looks, you know, a lot shorter than this full version, but this is not even a full human height Funko either. So let's quickly grab in one for comparison. This one here is Andor. This is also a convention exclusive, the first Funko figure from Andor season 1, which was unfortunately a convention exclusive for 2022 as well. So you can see that the projection of Maarva is taller than a standard sort of human figure from the Star Wars range, which again is taller than the droids. But I think this is really fun. It's just the right sort of balance. In the Andor series, the projection is quite high in the sky, quite large. It's not sort of like the little sort of help me Obi-Wan Kenobi sort of Princess Leia projection that's quite small. She is quite large and sort of high up. So I'm not sure that we'll really see this in too many other collectible formats. I was so excited to see this from Funko because they sort of play with proportion a little bit in terms of the very big heads and small bodies. They can kind of get away with it here. So you can kind of, this version of B2 Emo is not really in scale with Andor, but for the sake of the projection, it works. And I really like the fact that this is kind of almost like a little mini scene with Andor here, and just sort of having a regular version of B2 Emo here off to the side. I'm just really impressed with the detail on this one. I thought they might sort of go a little bit more simpler for the droid underneath, because technically Maarva is the character for this particular figure. I thought the focus would be on her, but I like to see that there isn't a detail missed. You can see those sort of the weathering, that green stripe, the little silver panels in between the red panels. It's all there. It looks fantastic. I'm just so excited for Andor season 2, and I'm just so excited that we're finally getting more collectibles from season 1. It took us quite a few years, I have to say. I loved Andor. I was kind of surprising that we didn't get so much merchandise straight away. It's kind of, well, we're getting closer to season 2 when we're finally getting season 1 merchandise, but hey, I'm just happy it's here. So of course, the last little detail, we've got the iconic black base here for the Star Wars line of figures from Funko, which we have that 3-tiered circular base. We've got the copyright there on the underneath, and we have that flat plate at the front with the Star Wars logo in silver. Interestingly, for a few figures, we have more of a white or very light gray printed Star Wars logo, like this one of B2 Emo. I do prefer it to be consistent with the metallic silver that we see on most Funko figures from the Star Wars line, like this one. So this one matches the Andor one I have, but B2 Emo unfortunately is not that metallic printing. It is just kind of a little bit more flat. So glad to see we're going continuing on with the metallic silver. I think that looks much better, and I'm really excited to finally be building up a little bit of an Andor series of sort of lineup here of figures. I am getting really hyped for season 2, so I'm having a lot of fun opening up a few more items for my Andor collection, counting down the days until season 2. I can't wait. Hasbro has already revealed a couple of figures that are going to be coming out soon from season 2, including Andor in a new outfit. That's very, very cool. It's definitely on my wish list. But this one, honestly, this one is such a standout for me. I don't like to play too many favorites when it comes to my Star Wars collectibles, but this is so special. I think that this is really neat. It's just fantastic. That was such an iconic moment in this series. There are so many great monologues in Andor Season 1. I'm really hoping that we'll get something like that in Season 2 as well. But honestly, if you haven't seen Andor, you have to check it out, especially this particular moment. It's really, really amazing. So there you go. I'm so happy with this. Just honestly, so happy. As soon as I saw it in the store, I just had to grab it. I wasn't even going to leave it one more day. I just had to have it. I didn't want to risk missing out on adding that one because it's just absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today as I opened up another Star Wars Funko figure and had just a wonderful time checking out all of the details. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the galaxy, and let's hang out again very soon for more Star Wars fun. May the Force be with you. If you're a Funko Pop vinyl fan, I recently unboxed the brand new Cassian Andor figure number 759. That video is linked here in case you haven't already seen it, as well as a whole Funko unboxing playlist. This is the way.